Hey guys, how's it going? James from Butler Farms, and I'm here out in the yard today just trying to keep everything alive. Here in the deep south, over the last week and a half to 2 weeks, we have been bumping 100 degrees just about every single day, and the heat index has been in the triple digits more days than it hasn't. And dealing with a lot here, just trying to keep everything alive. I've been up here dealing with my strawberries. They are really suffering right now. I've been up here watering, which is something I really don't like, to supplemental water. I try to let nature take its course, but they were beat down, and you can see they're still coming along, they're still spreading, but they are struggling out here in this heat, and everything is struggling out here in this heat, including myself. I definitely had to go and water the area where my raised beds used to be, because those winter squash plants that I put in there, they are wilting. As you've seen before, that is a very poor area that I'll be building up in the years to come. And you know, it's, of course, grass is going to overtake that at some point. But I do have those squash plants, and they're all 15 of them are still alive, but they're just wilting out here. We have not had hardly any measurable rain. We did have a little rainstorm come through last night, and when I left for work this morning, there was some puddled up at the end of the driveway, but by the time I got home a little after lunch, guys, it was powder dry out here again today. If you walk across some bare spots in the yard, or you walk down in the garden, dust kicks up under your feet, even after that good rain that we had last night. So hopefully it did some good, but then when I came out here and checked, I saw that everything's struggling. So the things up here in the yard, while I was watering those winter squash, trying to keep them alive, while I was watering the strawberries, I went ahead and hit some of my herbs that I have in the ground, the rosemary and the lavender and things like that. I also went and hit the blueberry bushes that I have planted up here with my strawberries, just simply because it is so hot. I hit my crabapple trees that were close enough to get with a hose, but here's the thing, as I've told you before, I don't have access to water down where the garden is. There used to be access there. There used to be a spigot down there close back in the old days when my wife's great-grandfather used to garden down there, but that spigot is off of a well that is no longer in service. There's not even a well in it anymore, or not a pump in it anymore, so that doesn't do me any good. So I'm kind of at the mercy of nature down there, and that's kind of what I want to talk to you about just for a few minutes. It won't be a long video at all, but guys, I just want to talk to you for a few minutes about taking care of yourself. You know, I've been real busy here lately, working, and my weekends have been full. And by the time I get home, it is entirely, you know, I'm used to the heat. I grew up working in the heat. A lot of my jobs that I've had over the years, especially when I was putting myself through college and those kind of things, require that I could be able to take the heat. And you know, when you're a young man in your late teens and early 20s, you feel like you're kind of 10 foot tall and bulletproof until you're not. Probably in my mid-20s, I don't remember exactly how old I was when it happened, but I experienced a heat stroke. I did not end up in the hospital. It was diagnosed as a heat stroke. I did have to take fluids, and it was a long road back. And guys, you know, I'm still to this day, heat doesn't really bother me, but I notice that I still can't work like I used to, and it's not necessarily because of age, but ever since I had that heat stroke, I just can't last as long out here working as I used to, nor should I. Just to be honest with you, that was a dumb move on my part. The situation that led to me having that heat stroke, I knew better. As I said, I've been working out in the heat for ever since I was about 12 or 13 years old. Every summer was filled with that, working in hay fields, doing electrical work in steel plants and things like that. So I thought that my body could take it, and over about a 2-day period doing some work here around the house, I got myself into trouble, and it could have been a lot worse. So I just want to talk to you just for a minute about taking care of yourself. Now, this channel is about gardening. This channel hopefully one day will be about livestock and animals and things like that. But guys, the main thing is not only to, you know, give it a try and do the best you can with it and try to raise some of your own food, but you've got to take care of yourself. I'm out here now, and we got a good breeze blowing, and even with this breeze blowing, guys, it feels like when you open the door to the oven and that first wind comes out and hits you from that open oven, where you kind of have to turn your face away from it. That's kind of what it feels like out here. Now, as the afternoon goes on, it does cool off, but with what we're experiencing here in central Alabama, I can't, you know, when I get off of work for my summer job and come home, it is entirely too hot to be outside and working. It's dangerous, actually. And by the time it cools off enough for me to be able to get some work done, it is already 8 or 8:30 at night. It's still light here at that time, and you know, it's pleasurable to be out there, but I do at the same time have to get up and go at about 5 o'clock the next morning again. So, you know, this time of year is tough. It's tough on me, and it's tough on a lot of gardeners and a lot of homesteaders, and things still have to get done. I'll have to admit that I haven't been quite as attentive to my garden here lately as I should have, just simply because of the danger that we're in. We're being warned every day about the temperature and the heat index here and what that means, and the humidity is out the roof. So it's been tough, and I want to go down to the garden. I need to get down to the garden, and I know that there's things down there that I need to do, but I also know that I'm a husband and a father of 4, and my health is more important than that. But there are some things that you can do. So for those of you that are just kind of getting started in this, those of you that have been around for a while, you kind of know what to do and those kind of things. But for those of you that are just getting started, you can burn yourself out literally and figuratively very quickly in this kind of heat, especially with what we're dealing with down here in the deep south. So just very quickly, guys, only pick early in the morning and late in the afternoon. Don't try to get out there and weed and hoe in a garden and do those kind of things in the middle of the day. It is absolutely dangerous to do it at this time of year, during those time periods. I actually finish up my summer job here this week, and so I'll have some time off, and that's when I will get down in the garden. Instead of getting up at 5 to go to my summer job, I'll be getting up at 5 to go down in the garden. And yeah, it would be a lot easier to sleep in. It'd be a lot easier to say, well, I'll get to it later. No, you won't. You will. When you walk outside, when you finally do decide to get out, and you'll regret that you made that mistake. So get up early, set that alarm clock, get on out there before it heats up and before the humidity levels rise, or either wait till late in the afternoon. Another thing, and this is common sense, guys, you got to stay hydrated. Just with what I've been doing out here watering these plants, I am completely soaked through my shirt. I probably haven't been out here 30 minutes to this point, but I'm losing all this moisture just walking around up here in the yard, and even up here in the shade where I am now filming this, guys. I'm soaking wet simply because of the humidity and the heat out here. So make sure that you're staying hydrated. You know, stay away from the soft drinks, stay away from the real sugary. Obviously in the deep south we love our sweet tea. This is probably not the time of year to be replenishing your fluids with sweet tea. Kind of stay away from that. Stay with the water and things like that. Another thing that I found that helps me, I have one of the towels, I really don't know the name of them, that you wet and hang around your neck. Even when I'm down in the garden, I will hang that on the fence, and when I get to feeling the heat, and I'm not just talking about it being hot, but I start feeling bad and I start feeling like, man, I'm about to get in trouble, the first thing I do is go over there and shake that little towel and put it around my neck, and put it over my wrist and places like that that are getting a lot of blood flow, and I cool myself down. Always wear the right kind of clothes. Growing up, I can remember seeing a lot of the old timers out in the garden during the hot part of the day, and they were wearing long sleeves, and I really didn't understand that at the time. And I still haven't really bought into it, but it makes sense. They were all wearing long sleeve white button down shirts with, you know, and that reflects some of the heat, and that keeps some of that moisture close to your skin. So that makes sense as well. Always protect your head. I am very big on keeping on a wide brimmed hat to keep the sun off my face and to keep the sun off my ears. You know, on down the line as I get older, I don't want a situation coming up where I'm having to pay medically for what I did and didn't protect out in the sun, fishing and hunting and gardening and those kind of things. Get a hat that will breathe. For years I wore hats that were solid up top, but there's a lot of heat that's lost through the top of your head. So get one that has some kind of ventilation up top. For years I wore straw hats that had holes in the top that would allow heat out. Now I don't. I wear a wide brimmed hat that's not made out of straw, but it does have netting across the top, so it keeps me from getting burned. It keeps the sun off the top of my head, but at the same time it allows that heat to escape. There's so many other ways that that you can keep yourself safe, but the main thing is when you start feeling bad, take it from somebody that's had a heat stroke before and has paid for it ever since for probably the last 20 years. You don't want to go down that road. As hard as we work on our homesteads and as hard as we work on our gardens, it's not worth your health. So if it's hot and you feel thirsty, then go stop and take a break and take care of that problem. If you start feeling bad, get yourself somewhere and cool off. Don't push it. It's not worth it. So I'm gonna leave it right there, I got some more videos coming soon, and I hope you'll stick around. I've been really busy here lately, so I hadn't had time to post much, but I've got some that I'm working on now that'll be out soon. Thank you so much to those of you that have subscribed. If you haven't, I would love for you to subscribe and join us here and learn as we learn. And don't forget to share it with a friend and hit that like button. Guys, I just want you to stay safe out here in this heat. Just want you to take care of yourself so that you can keep coming back and visiting with me. God bless you. This is James from Butler Farms, and I'll be seeing you.